The World Surf League is the governing body of professional surfing with the sole authority to crown the world champions of the sport. The WSL Championship Tour is the fight for the world title.
He stops it, that thing was huge.
We began this year in Hawaii with iconic champions and new winners. Crisscrossing the globe from Europe to Australia and Indonesia, the Dream Tour has been exciting fans around the world. The world's best surfers now shift continents once again and land for the first time in Central America.
A lot of sharpening of the tools, coming straight off G-land, getting onto a right-hand point break.
Punta Roca is the next challenge on the road to the Final Five.
Continues to slash away at Punta Roca.
Beat of my life.
WSL presents the Surf City Pro. Welcome to El Salvador. For stop number 7 of the championship tour, the WSL heads to the southwest coast of El Salvador for the Dream Tour's newest destination, Surf City.
When I was a kid, I always dreamed to have a city event here with the perfect wave. And for me, it's a dream come true. I'm super stoked. Everybody from here is super stoked.
Officially named La Libertad, this picturesque beach town features many surfing opportunities, highlighted by Punta Roca, a world-class right-hand point break.
You could compare this wave to a Rincon, to a Jeffreys Bay, or even to a Lower Trestles. It's just one of those really rippable, user-friendly waves.
It's been a long time coming to have an event here in Central America. Very, very grateful for all the support from El Salvador and I think the local community in general.
So far, I've had a really great experience here in El Salvador. The vibes, the people have been warm, the hospitality has been great.
It's a good country. People here are so lovely, and we've been eating some good food.
It's like a for sure good surf trip when you come here. Like you don't really need to see the forecast. It's just a really good surf spot, and it's one of my favorite places in the world. This is the paradise. It doesn't even feel like a job, you know?
I've always seen this wave just online, and I've always wanted to come here, so a little more perfect, I think, in person. I can't wait to surf it and get the event started. I always love being in a warm, tropical place with good waves, so that's the Dream Tour event that we want.
We welcome now the trials winner, the prodigy from El Salvador, Brian Perez, local boy from Punta Roca.
Punta Roca is a cobblestone right-hand point break that provides a natural canvas for high-performance surfing. Event wildcard Brian Perez breaks down this newest championship tour venue.
My house is 1 minute walk from the point. I open my window and then I see all the wave and then I go straight to the point. This is the point, Punta Roca. It's gonna be all the contest area. It's a point break, so we have a few sections. The first section is a little fast because you can get barrel or you can get speed and make that section and connect all the way. I like the barrel and then get some turns. Let's do it. Inside section is a friend of the house. I think this is the best spot to go on the water. You can get all the way to La Paz. I think it's more fun, that one. Then we have an inside section. So rippable. Whoa! Look at this one. So fun. A barrel, air, and turn. That's the combo. Thanks for coming here. Let's do it.
Great to be here for stop number 7 of the World Surf League Championship Tour.
The fiesta begins here in Surf City, and anticipation is high for the championship tour's first ever stop in Central America.
Really looking forward to seeing the whole package from barrels to airs to big combinations.
24 men and 12 women have come to El Salvador to compete at Punta Roca.
The opening round for the Surf City El Salvador Pro presented by Corona. Great to finally get started.
As the contest window begins, a fun-sized south swell marches down this classic cobblestone point break, and the opening rounds are called on.
We're expecting fireworks for the first time ever at the championship tour level here at Punta Roca.
Ahí lo vemos, el Jack Robinson volando.
You just got to surf free, I feel like. Try and get as many waves as you can and see how it goes.
hopping over a big rock. Yago Dora pulls off one of the best punts of the year. Yago Dora, I thought he hurt his foot. You know, he's fine.
That was the most exciting thing that happened since my injury, actually.
What makes Felipe dangerous? If it's challenging, windy, he's still the favorite.
These guys are on fire out here.
I've surfed waves like this before. I've won contests in waves like this before. Just gotta enjoy and make the most out of it.
Score that for Brian Perez. Crowd loves it. As we see Miguel going to town.
Gabriel Medina, his next tattoo should be a monster. Because that guy.
Medina just sliced that Punta Roca right up into pieces.
It'll look fun from outside, but out there it's kind of hard to serve.
Here we go, Griffin down the line. Throws that tail way out.
Here we go with the prodigy, Baron Mamiya, on a larger wave. Aggressive turn, hangs on through some bouncy water.
Exciting opening day of competition. How good is this?
Oh, hello?
The WSL supports equal prize money earned at equal events.
I know, can't believe it.
And the Surf City Pro features the top 12 women in the world.
I love you. Go hard, go hard.
Identical to the men, the women's opening round kicks off stop number 7 on the road to the final 5.
The horn has sounded. Let's kick this thing off.
Here comes Riss.
It's super exciting to have a new event on tour, but to have it as our 7th event, it's such a crucial point defining like who's going to be in the final 5. It is a little nerve-wracking.
Steph now linking into that first big turn, goes in to connect on the finish. Coming from G-Land, you guys have had quite the mission.
I think I did a full body detox. Now I'm feeling light. Ready to go, ready to make sections.
As we take a look at Sally now, using priority on this wave, getting her opening turn underway. Nice snap on the second.
I just love it. I love playing the game. At this level, it's so challenging, but just staying open to it and just finding those opportunities.
Bowling setup for Lakey Peterson.
To be honest, I just have been pissed off on my last few results, and I think there's a bit of aggression coming out. I've just been irritated with my surf in the last few events, so maybe that's just coming out a bit more, the mongrel.
Of course, we see Joanne throwing some fins and some spray there. I love that she went progressive there and blew the tail and threw the fins. That was a good exchange for the girls.
Coming up next, familiar faces return to the Championship Tour.
Carlos Munoz, welcome back to the Championship Tour.
We're just so stoked to see her back in the mix here.
Caroline Marks and Carlos Munoz look to spice up the action here in El Salvador when the Surf City Pro continues. WSL presents the Surf City Pro El Salvador. This championship tour stop in Central America sees the return of two familiar faces. Costa Rican Carlos Munoz and American Caroline Marks are back. Caroline Marks was the youngest surfer ever to qualify for the Women's Championship Tour at age 15.
She's just got a rare confidence. She's an unbelievable competitor and maybe the best backhand surfer we've ever seen on the CT. In her rookie season, Caroline Marks claimed Rookie of the Year honours. She was so strong at a lot of different venues throughout the season.
She has 3 CT wins and finished second overall in 2019.
Caroline Marks is the future of women's surfing. She's the new Carissa Moore, Stephanie Gilmore. For the younger generation under her to look up and go, I can do it. I can be one of the best in the world.
Marks began this year as a serious title contender.
On cue, in a shocking upset, Caroline Marks goes down in elimination round 1, heat 1.
She's been sort of a title threat the last few years, so this is a pretty big shakeup for her. So,
yeah, that one's going to sting, no doubt.
After being eliminated at the Billabong Pipe Pro, Caroline stepped away from competition. Still a Grom at age 20, Caroline is a competitor who is eternally stoked just to go surfing.
I just want to rip really hard and surf my absolute best, and I just really want to be like relentless.
After missing 5 events, Caroline Marks pulls on the jersey for just the second time this year. She faces a wounded Brisa Hennessy in the elimination round. Punta Roca, or in English, Rock Point, is completely covered in cobblestones. This stable floor provides a consistent line to produce quality waves. The rocks are good for the surf, but dangerous for the surfers.
At the start of Brisa Hennessy's heat, she took off on her opening wave, kicked out on the inside section and hit one of the rocks. Now, one of the tricky parts about these rocks is not that they're just big and hard themselves, but they actually are covered in barnacles. Her foot connected with one of the barnacles and sliced it open right at the start of the heat. She had to then surf the entire heat with a massive gash on her foot.
You're good. You're good. Okay, breathe, breathe, breathe.
Doctor ended up having to put 8 stitches into her foot. The only good part about it that I can see is that it's on the side of her heel, almost just up off of the bottom of her foot. So thankfully, it's not the bottom where she's gonna have to put a lot of pressure heading into that elimination round today.
After receiving multiple stitches to her foot, Brisa Hennessy is determined to fight through the pain here in the elimination round.
Brisa doing so well in the rankings this year, sitting at number 2. Caroline Marks, she's returned to competition and we are so excited to have her here. Caroline Marks, using priority on this wave, open slash on her backhand. She just drives hard off the bottom and finds that bully section to put on a powerful finish. We see her now with a great looking right-hander opening in front of her. Driving through that back foot, it's that back foot that's got the injury. You can see the booty on it. I love that she was able to find a little bit of rhythm on that wave. She finds a good looking section for that opening turn. Wraps it around for the second, and now starts to set it up for this bully section. Tags the lip, and she's looking for even more opportunity down the line. She's gonna make that section to find that inside double up for a strong finish. It looks like that foot is not giving her the slightest bit of agitation.
I really like the way she's drawing out her turns too. She's actually using the whole perimeter of the wave rather than maybe dictating what or the opening section would do.
And the buzzer will sound. A nice moment between the girls in the lineup. Caroline Marks taking the win. She's into the quarterfinals. And Caroline already starting to play spoiler to that conversation revolving the WSL Finals and who will make it into the Final 5.
I'm really stoked. The waves got a little bigger and the conditions provided. And yeah, we were having a laugh before. I was like, the locker room seems a little bit tighter. So every heat's so gnarly, you know. So every heat feels like a final, and it's really fun and exciting.
Carlos Munoz is the first Costa Rican to qualify for the Men's Championship Tour. A superstar in Central America, Carlos began his run on international surfing's biggest stage with dramatic heat wins at Pipeline.
Carlos Munoz jumps into first, just enough. Pura vida, Costa Rica.
Man, super happy. I'm just so stoked. The whole day being the waves firing. I've been watching my wife and the kids. All the support I have behind is amazing. You know, I just thank you.
Munoz, backdoor. Kali on fire. Split of the peak. Carlos Munoz goes backdoor. Spit and exit.
I've been dreaming to be in the city for 10 years, and then finally I win one hit. So I'm super happy and stoked.
But all his winning incurred a major
Poor
loss.
guy, popped his shoulder out.
Oof, that is a lot of pain. An existing injury from before, actually.
After missing 5 events, Carlos Munoz is back in a CT jersey, and a rowdy group of Costa Ricans are on hand to cheer for their beloved brother. The big-haired hero faces Griffin Colapinto in a win-or-go-home elimination round heat.
This is Griffin. Hard off the bottom, explosive hack off the lip. Big section approaching, and what an effort.
On his way.
Carlos out the back.
Carlos tags the lip quickly. Controls the down carve. Right into a snap off the lip, and then lights up that oncoming section. This is Colapinto getting the rest of it. Griff digging in a bit harder on the forehand hook. There's the fade. Inside bowl's looking fun for Colapinto. Snaps it off the lip. There's a big rock. He'll use it as a wedge. And Colapinto puts that thing to sleep. Carlos Munoz throws down the snap quickly. Patient off the bottom. Great. Vertical off the top. And tries to transition off the float. And Griffin Colapinto gets the win to move on into the round of 16.
Griff, what would it mean for you to not only win here in El Salvador, but your second CT event of this year?
Oh, it'd be insane. I got my dad here, and to win with him or something would be awesome.
Well, we'll see you later today too, Griff. Rest up.
All right, thank you.
Gabriel Medina is back. After showing up in G-Land for the first time this year, the three-time world champion has landed in Central America. Jack Robinson ended Gabriel's run in the jungle. Now, Medina is out for revenge in El Salvador. The Surf City Pro continues. The WSL presents the Surf City Pro El Salvador. Gabriel Medina is back.
Your 2021 world champion, Gabriel Medina.
I'm crying right now because it's a lot of mix of emotion, you know.
After winning his third world title last year, the exhausted champion opted to take time off from competition.
Yeah, I felt really tired. It's always intense, you know. You win, you lose, you travel, but you gotta be 100%, you know, like your mind, your body, and sometimes it's kind of hard to.
Gabriel Medina officially back on tour.
The Macho Man is back in town.
Medina has been granted a wild card spot for the remainder of the year.
The time off was really good for me, and I feel fresh. I want to give a chance to myself to be in the finals and have a shot for the title.
It's time for the quarterfinals for the men. Jack Robinson, world number 2, with a rematch against three-time world champ Gabriel Medina. They just had a battle on finals day at G-Land going left. Well, now let's go right.
Jack Robinson has just celebrated back-to-back event wins. Robbo eliminated Medina en route to his G-Land victory. As we begin the quarterfinals, the three-time world champion seeks redemption.
Jack Robinson driving into the first section and a broken board to start. Passing that drifting broken board is Gabriel Medina. Throwing a nice clean backhand hack, incredibly glassy conditions. Belting it again, slams that one right in the lip.
Look at this, Jackie boy.
Big down carve slice, Robinson, a lively rock and roll float.
He spent less than 3 minutes paddling in, going back out, got a great opportunity to still make it out of this heat.
Running after some open faces, Medina squares up vertically. Big connection there, lively backhand float, and smashes the oncoming section. Down to 10 seconds on the clock, and it looks like Jack Robinson is going to start heading into the beach. Gabriel Medina getting payback on Jack from G-Land.
You know, he got me in G-Land. It's good to get him here, and we're going to keep going. You know, that's what we live for, and that's why it's fun.
Felipe Toledo, wearing yellow, is the #1 surfer in the world, and the Brazilian is dominating the championship tour. Toledo only has one gear, and that's full speed. Felipe is flying to another excellent result here in El Salvador.
Good looking wave for Felipe again. Stylish high line. Big carve, utilizing the whole rail all the way back. Powering through here, and Felipe Toledo just looking like he's having fun.
It's pumping, it's firing. Probably the best wave we've surfed in, I don't know, 2-3 months. It's been my best year so far. Super humbled to be in the position that I am right now. So stoked.
Joanne de Faye took a big win at the Championship Tour's most recent stop in Garajagan, Indonesia.
Joanne de Faye fighting for the inside position, getting this first ride.
She felt what the judges wanted after first heat of the contest and applied it basically all the way to the final.
Again, a solid finish.
Wow, that was a huge blow. That is going to shake the confidence of Carissa.
50 seconds. Can Joanne de Faye hold on here? Joanne de Faye is going to be the champion of the Roxy Pro G-Land.
With her victory at the Roxy Pro G-Land, the Frenchwoman has shot up to #3 on the leaderboard and is now a serious Final 5 contender.
Let's hear it for your first ever Roxy Pro G-Land champion, Joanne de Faye.
As we begin the women's quarterfinals here in El Salvador, de Faye is on the hunt for another big result.
I like Joanne's chances. You see her during the free serve, she's very consistent. And then you have Sally Fitzgibbons, who's kind of a wild card in this event because she's in desperate need of a win here.
Joanne de Faye now having a look here. Nice vertical turn to start. More open face wrap for the second. Steady on her feet all the time.
She is so steady, so smooth. There it comes in at the 7.83. Look at this wave, it was an absolute bomb. This first section bashes that, throwing so much spray, a huge carve here to back that up.
Joe's really been picking the eyes out of the lineup here. Sally now with an opportunity. She goes for the air. Oh my goodness, that was huge.
You can hear the beach erupting.
Joanne de Faye now up and riding again. And an incredible opening turn. Now finds that rail for the second section and continues to blow it down the line.
Wow.
Finding so much speed, so much power and connection. She just looks so in rhythm here at Punta Roca. Joanne de Faye of Reunion Island taking it out with very solid pocket surfing.
Quarterfinal 2 is an all-California battle between two women who have been trading heat wins since they were kids.
Lakey Peterson and Courtney Conlog in the lineup. I think for Lakey, she's been a bit disappointed with her results this year, Laura. She wants to take away a win. Nice snap to start for Conlog. Frothy section in front of her. She's keeping it smooth and in control as she engages with that power section as this wave continues to give her great scoring potential. Good looking set rolling through now. We'll track with Courtney Conlog on the takeoff straight in front of Lakey. Nice snap into the lip to start. Little hand drag and lay back for that second turn. Digs in so hard, then she's gonna connect for the finish. And there it is, a 6.43, so it moves in as the highest score of the heat so far. Lakey Peterson now sitting with priority, chasing a 7.06.
With a minute to go, unfortunately, time is ticking away and she might not get another opportunity. Actually, a little bump coming, never say never. 15 seconds to go.
Surfer in red, Lakey Peterson with priority. She's chasing a 7.06, connecting in that first turn, setting it up now for the second. She snaps the lip. It's continuing to offer more power and more punch, and she is laying it all out as the cheers go wild.
Oh my gosh, wow, that, are you kidding me?
Now waiting for the scores to drop. And she gets the score, it's a 7.4. Lakey Peterson takes it into the semifinals for Peterson.
The surf media has declared it's the heat of the year.
Griffin Colapinto will take on Kanoa Igarashi. The numbers are in, a 9.10.
The most exciting battle so far on the 2022 WSL Championship Tour. The Surf City Pro El Salvador continues. WSL presents the Surf City Pro El Salvador. Punta Roca is the most famous right-hand point break in Central America and the crown jewel of surfing in El Salvador. As the wind shifts offshore and the swell pumps, conditions here in Surf City turn from good to epic. Griffin Colapinto and Kanoa Igarashi are two Southern California locals who are hungry to make the WSL Finals and surf for a world title in California at lower trestles.
Colapinto, just a few years younger than Kanoa, growing up in Southern California. For these young surfers, they want to push each other in this next round at Punta Roca. Probably one of the most exciting heats of the round.
Now looking at a start here for Kanoa Igarashi. Jams it right on the money. Hard off the bottom, and Igarashi lays into a meaty hack.
Great wave selection too. Griff with the response.
Colapinto throws it vertically. Great decision there. The foam climb off the bottom, tail whip reverse.
Wow.
As we got more action here off the bottom and setting up a beautiful first carve is Kanoa Igarashi. Belts it again with some spray to the sky. Belted vertical with the tail hanging out the back.
It's the best wave of the heat.
Kanoa Igarashi to the lead. Griffin Colapinto looking for a 7.71.
Colapinto swinging into the picture now.
A monster first turn. Combination of major maneuvers in the most critical sections.
Colapinto attacks the top of that closeout section and rides away perfectly.
It's gonna be close to 10.
The numbers are in, a 9.10 for Colapinto into first. One of the best heats of 2022 goes in favor of Griffin Colapinto.
Heat of the year? I think so. Heat of my life. Yeah. This is like what we dream of on tour, these kind of waves. And right point, that's my ideal condition. So yeah, I'm pretty pumped it showed up.
With epic waves come big scores, and the action is not about to slow down. Italo Ferreira versus Ethan Ewing. This will be another serious fight for Final 5 contention.
It is huge when you focus on the WSL Final 5. Ethan, number 5 in the world. Italo, number 6 in the world.
Here we go. First wave, Ethan Ewing. Big snap there in his approach. Another big snap off the top. Hangs on the bottom before unleashing yet another carve on this long-running cobblestone point.
This, to me, was pure magic. The selection of the maneuvers that he could do, just with the section and the tempo that he was offered.
Ferreira, big slash for Italo Ferreira. Around the bottom again, throws the fins on that second slash. Ferreira loads up, stabs the lip, and is complete.
Wow, just beautiful stuff. Watch as he releases that tail on that second move.
Here we go, Ethan Ewing snaps off the top to open, glides through that section. Full rail carve back into the pocket.
He just surfed it so impeccably well.
Ferreira now needing a 7.3. Winds up off the bottom, slashes off the top. Airdrops again, big slash up top, another little airdrop out of that maneuver. Squares off the bottom again for another hack on the backhand. Looking down the line, he goes for the lip glide, yells at the judges, says, that's it.
Ooh, it's gonna be close, cops.
An 8.67, and Italo Ferreira vaults into the lead, and a trip to semi-final number 2.
After missing 5 events, Caroline Marks is back and faced with a real challenge. Can the young phenom return to form and be competitive at surfing's highest level?
The last event she surfed was at Sunset Beach. She was awarded a wild card for the second half of the year. If you look at the matchups in the history of both women, 4-1 in favor of Carissa Moore. Great opportunity for Caroline to make a statement here in El Salvador.
Carissa Moore up and riding, wants to apply some pressure, and she's doing so. Some great surfing. It looks for the finish, and of course, Carissa Moore will stomp that finish and ride out.
Here we go, Caroline Marks.
Marksy on the backhand, and those powerful top hooks from Caroline Marks are still intact. Beautiful leverage off her toes there. So nice starter, 7.83 for Caroline Marks, 6.33 for Carissa Moore. Here we go with Caroline going vert for the beginning. Another vertical snap there on a roll right here.
Wow, so well done. Getting that wave under Carissa's priority.
Here we go, comes down to this. Gaffer snap there. Beautiful rail work for Carissa Moore. Looking for more on the inside.
Those opening maneuvers, were they dynamic enough?
The judges did not hesitate. 5.23, not enough for Carissa Moore.
Huge confidence boost for Caroline Marks going into the semifinals.
I always learn a lot when I surf against Carissa and any of the girls really, so yeah, it's super fun, and that one felt good.
Stephanie Gilmore is the queen of right-hand point breaks. She has just the right combination of style, flow, and progression.
We are in quarterfinal number 4. Stephanie Gilmore currently number 7 on the rankings. Isabella Nichols currently number 8 in the rankings. Both surfers in that race for the final 5.
As you see Isabella having a look at this.
She wanted to tee off and get a rhythm going. You know, she's looking nice and strong on her board.
The Stephanie Gilmore takes off on the wave behind, just cuts back into this one, waits for it to stand up, gets the layback there. And then just a beautiful wrap. You can tell the wave height, I mean the difference in wave height between the two waves. Wow, big bang finish.
Isabella Nichols, here she goes. Bella's carving through that section there. Beautiful opening turn. One more time, keeping that board on rail. Patient off the bottom, slicing off the top. She is going to take the lead.
We can see some lines coming in.
Steph Gilmore, beautiful looking wave. Huge arc off the top. Long drawn bottom turn, another signature arc from Steph Gilmore. Really stalls, puts herself in the power pocket.
So clutch.
It looks like Steph Gilmore on to the semifinals.
I haven't had a win for a little while, so yeah, I'm definitely trying to go extra hard to make it happen.
Coming up next, it's finals day for the women. Joanne de Faye versus Lakey Peterson. Then Caroline Marks faces Stephanie Gilmore. Who will be the first to celebrate in El Salvador at the inaugural Surf City Pro? WSL presents the Surf City Pro El Salvador. It's an early morning on finals day at Punta Roca, and with 4-foot glassy lines rolling down this famous cobblestone point, the women's semifinals prepare to hit the water.
First thing in the morning, there's still some surf out there. It looks incredibly rippable.
In semi-final number 1, we have Joanne de Faye, who's just come off a great win in G-Land, up against Lakey Peterson. Lakey has made a final this season so far, but she's yet to take a win.
Lakey just dialing into a bomb right here. Beautiful top turn connections. She's just locked in a couple of sixes.
In total attack mode, and Joanne's been ripping, but maybe just the score is a bit smaller just because of the size of the waves.
Lakey Peterson is looking smooth and calculated. With a pair of 6-point rides, the Californian advances to her second final appearance of the year.
Semi-final number 2 is one of my favorites on paper. You've got the 7-time world champion up against Caroline Marks, who's made a return to competition after taking a couple months off after the Pipeline Pro.
Stephanie Gilmore continues to look like the standout competitor of the event.
And that big first maneuver, just so beautiful as she floats down the line.
She is looking on this morning.
And her stylish surfing earns her 2 7-point rides.
This is the Steph we're used to seeing. It's so exciting.
Caroline Marks has enjoyed a solid comeback. However, defeated by Gilmore, Marks is eliminated and Steph will surf the final heat against Lakey Peterson. Stephanie Gilmore is one of the greatest competitors in WSL history. She holds 7 world titles and a record 32 event wins, and counting.
Being on the World Championship Tour means a lot to me. It has been a dream of mine since I was probably 15 years old. Once I got on tour when I was 19, I don't know, I loved it. I wanted to do it for as long as I could. And that really comes down to just health and motivation and stuff like that.
Stephanie Gilmore is now a 7-time world champion, tied for the best of all time with Lane Beachley.
A pinnacle career moment for myself on the WSL Tour would be probably winning my first world title in my rookie year in 2007, and then also getting a perfect 10 in the final at Karamas. That was a really fun time. And I think for women surfing too, it was a really great year for us because it was the first year we had equal prize money, and that was kind of like a real statement that we wanted to make as the women to show that we deserve to be where we are and have that equal prize money on that podium with the men. What's next? After 7 is 8. I'd love to win 8 world titles. You know, it's going to be an incredibly tough journey, but anything's possible. I hope to leave my mark on professional surfing in a way that is just encouraging for young women to get out there and go surfing. I love the sport of female surfing, and I love that there's so many young women in the water now, and could only hope that I was one of those female surfers on the world tour who was able to inspire and encourage a lot of young girls to get out there and have a go and try surfing, whether it's competitively or not. That's probably the legacy I hope to leave.
We are set for the women's final. Stephanie Gilmore versus Lakey Peterson.
Both of these women, Laura, looking for their first win of the season. Now, whichever of them actually takes the win here is going to land up number 3 in the world.
I think for the final 5, you really got to secure a win. So, yeah, I'm hoping to do that here.
Lakey having a look here. Finds a first good turn. Gets that drift in the tail. Nice snap off the lip. And now driving down, working her way, keeping that flow in her surfing. Regardless of the bump on the face of this wave, smashes that last turn. It's a 6.67 and puts a big requirement onto the 7-time world champion in Steph Gilmore. Wild to think of Steph having not even made a final yet, let alone a win. Is she even going to get a win this year? Is she really in it? Is she going to be in that conversation to try and make it into the WSL Final 5, or is Steph kind of just gone for this year? Straight up into the lip for the first section for Gilmore. Races around and engages with the second. Wave is looking good so far for her as she wraps it around and gets that punch towards the finish. Gilmore has dropped in a score of a 7.33. Now it still has her sitting in that second place position. Having a look here, Steph looking for a score to move up into the lead. Nice snap under the lip to start. Great second turn. Now lining it up through the inside for that third.
With 10 seconds to go, I think Steph might just start realizing that she's done enough.
She has found victory as your Surf City El Salvador Pro Champion.
I love it. I love doing this. I love winning. I love this sport. It's sick. We get to travel, surf fun waves. That's life. It's living.
Stephanie Gilmore resets her own record with 33 event wins, the most ever by a woman on the championship tour.
Congratulations.
I just fell in love with this place. Muchas gracias, Punta Roca and El Salvador. It's really special. Thank you for letting us ride your waves and welcoming us so well. Yeah, I'm so happy to be here, and to win is just a cherry on top.
All roads lead to the Rip Curl WSL Finals. As we look at the women's leaderboard, Carissa Moore remains on top in yellow, and with their big results here in Surf City, Stephanie Gilmore jumps up to number 3, and Lakey Peterson moves into the last qualifying spot at number 5. Coming up next, Griffin Colapinto takes on the Brazilian Storm. Like a hurricane, Medina, Toledo, and Ferreira are an unstoppable force. But can the Californian calm the tempest?
A full rotation. Philippe's kind of been the guy to beat this year. 30 seconds to go.
Oh, there's one more wave, Joe.
Stay tuned for the conclusion of the Surf City Pro El Salvador. WSL presents the Surf City Pro El Salvador. As the men prepare for finals day, the Brazilian Storm is raging. Medina, Toledo, and Italo Ferreira have been unstoppable so far, and the forecast for the final is looking very stormy. Calm and collected, Californian Griffin Colapinto is planning to bring a sunny finish here in El Salvador. Felipe Toledo opens the semifinal with a statement to Ferreira.
Looks for the wrap, alley-oop, it's a huge one and stomps it. No problem for Toledo. Air reversal finish, and those are the combos that make Felipe Toledo so dangerous.
Toledo, with the single best wave of the event, a 9.70, dominates Ferreira.
So stoked, couldn't be more grateful to be in the position that I am. So blessed, and stoked to be in another final.
Gabe Medina, Griffin Colapinto matched up for a spot in the final. Colapinto, nice full rail slash off the top for Colapinto, double pump bottom, back up to the top, throws the fin for the second turn.
Colapinto opens the semifinals with an excellent score and a statement to the Brazilian Storm.
Gabe Medina up and riding, rapid fire from Medina down the line.
Gabriel Medina fights back and takes the lead, but it all comes down to Colapinto's last wave.
4.67, Mitch, that's the number that Griffin needs to acquire right here.
Yep.
4.80. Griffin Colapinto is gonna be in the finals.
With a buzzer beater win, Griffin Colapinto has eliminated Medina, and the Californian will surf in the final.
I mean, Philippe's kind of been the guy to beat this year, so I wouldn't mind going toe-to-toe with him out there.
Terry, huh?
Griffin Colapinto is a dangerous competitor in any and all conditions.
Once I turned 8, everything clicked and I got like one good wave and it pretty much changed everything.
And now a first ever Triple Crown champion from the state of California.
The U.S. Open of Surfing champion.
Perfect 10 off first of the season.
The male pro Portugal champ.
Griffin Colapinto.
Yeah, I'd say this is my best season so far for sure. I feel like my momentum's gaining and I'm learning how to be more consistent. To me, to make the final 5 at Trussell's would be probably like the closest thing to achieving a world title. My whole family and friends are there, so I think I just want to be able to represent San Clemente for everyone and get the community together and bring that good energy down there and hype it up.
And now it's time for the men's final. Griffin Colapinto takes on Felipe Toledo.
Griffin Colapinto has matured into a serious world title contender. And after his maiden win in Portugal against Felipe Toledo, he is well on the road to the Final 5.
Felipe Toledo got another shot at Griffin, finishing runner-up to him at Portugal. He was always the favorite before the event started to win here at Punta Roca.
He wants to ramp up, clear for takeoff, full rotation. Ramping up again, big section, throw tail reverse complete.
For him to perform like that is just bananas. I mean, he's unbelievable to watch. Let's see what Griff's got right here.
Big carve for Griffin Colapinto. A lot of variety for Griffin down the stretch. He will shut it down in the whitewater. Toledo's gonna roll in again. A full rotation. Griffin responding to Felipe's energy.
I'm puffed just watching those two waves.
Looking at the scoreboard, we're going, are you kidding me?
They're tied. Look at the totals. They're tied.
30 seconds to go.
Ooh, there's one more wave, Joe.
It's actually looking like a good set.
It's all coming down to this. He needs a 7.01.
Do it.
Last score coming through for Griffin Colapinto, turns in an 8.0, wow. And it's over.
Ladies and gentlemen, the champion, Surf City El Salvador Pro is Griffin Colapinto.
Crazy. I was just so baffled that we were tied. I just was thinking, it can't end this way. Comeback performances are literally, those are what I dream of. This final feels better than the Portugal one, so just soaking it in.
With another dramatic buzzer-beater finish, Colapinto has calmed the Brazilian storm, and Griff, exploding with confidence, has defeated Toledo for the second time in a CT final.
2022 Surf City El Salvador Pro, presentado por Corona Champion, el señor Griffin Colapinto.
After 7 stops on the championship tour, Felipe Toledo remains on top of the leaderboard wearing yellow. With his win, Griffin Colapinto jumps up to 3rd overall, and the WSL Final 5 continues to take shape. Only 3 stops remain in the regular season to qualify for the Rip Curl WSL Finals. Next up, the world's best are off to Brazil for the wildest event on tour.
Takes to the sky, goes upside down.
For all information on the WSL and the road to the Rip Curl WSL Finals, log on to worldsurfleague.com. We will see you next in Saquarema, Brazil for the Oi Rio Pro. Thanks for watching WSL Presents.